Welcome to the Loc'd podcast, behind the scenes, man. This is one of the podcasts. It's the unhinged version of the Loc'd podcast. So I wanted my boy to come on this one because this is going to be talking emotional, not really like emotional, more like internal like thoughts, that you can release and how, we or how I or how we have different perspectives on it. You know what I'm saying? And so we're going to do some things that's kind of different. We want to help you out in this episode because there is a lot of stuff that personally I've gone through, just in general that has, I've learned from. So I want y'all to know that y'all are not alone. Y'all are not, y'all are not going through this battle alone. It's not anything that's like that's hopefully tearing you apart. I hope that y'all are, finding ways to cope, finding ways to get help. So on this one, like I said, it's gonna be more of an unhinged version of how we normally, talk about things, but I want y'all to kind of express, feel like y'all are heard in this one. So that being said, we're gonna just get straight into it, man. So I got something to tell y'all personally. I want y'all to know four things that you must learn as you get, older, as you get wiser. And I'll start off first. As I told Roland, I was going to do it like as a way to say it, to be a story, like a blank to blank. So to love is to show love to yourself. What do I mean? So you can love so many people. You can love so many like things and so many like things that'll build you up. I mean, that's like you could build so many like love so many things that's like basically distractions to you. You know what I'm saying? And you might love it to the point where it's like, bro, you sit there and you don't even know like when they're gone or when you don't have that person that's around you or when you separate yourself from that like situation, like you don't know how to love yourself. You know what I'm saying? And so you must love yourself first before you love anything else. You know what I'm saying? Of course, love God first, love your family. But when it comes up to you and your friendships, when it comes up to you and your relationships, of course, have a balance of love, bro. Like I said, never show grace in a wrong, well, I was talking too fast. Never show the lack of love within your own self because you can't carry love to somebody else without knowing how to love yourself. At the end of the day, there's going to be times where you're going to have to figure out what to do. How can I appreciate myself? How can I, if you work out, how can I change my physique in certain ways without feeling like if I'm getting judged, like, that, that's gonna stop me. You know what I'm saying? You gotta like not allow people and things to ruin the love within yourself. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, bro, we all must love ourselves. And I'm not playing with y'all because there's some things that I'm going through personally that I'm not going to say right here that I realize as I keep getting older and as I keep experiencing these things that I show love way too much to people more than I do myself. And I've had people walk up to me and tell me, hey, maybe you should set boundaries. Hey, you should do this, you should do that. And I'll talk about that in a little bit. But for me, it's just like, bro, like people are deserving of grace and deserving of, feeling like they're heard. But then like in return, if I'm not receiving that, what I'm saying, it's like, bro, why am I giving y'all the energy to do it? You know what I'm saying? Why am I showing more love to y'all than I am to myself? So at the end of the day, bro, to love is to love yourself. Because if you don't love yourself, you ain't going to be able to love others the same way that you want to love yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, give yourself some love, bro. Like, stop feeling like you have to submit because of other people doing things for you. And then at the end of the day, like when they don't text you, when they don't talk to you, when they don't do this, when they don't do that, bro, that you feel like you just lost in everywhere. I was going to say lost in the sauce. That you don't know where the heck you going to go. You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, bro, to love is to love yourself. That's my end. Bro, you got something to say about that?
Man, um, shoot, I really totally agree with you, man. Just throughout my life, nobody's perfect. I done made mistakes. I done hurt people that I love, and I done got hurt from people that I also love and stuff like that. But um, one thing, as Dion said, you gotta love yourself, man. It's if you're a people pleaser, and I'm not saying that in a bad way, because I was too. If you like to make people around you feel good and you care for them real hard, you also got to know how to do that for yourself first. Yourself needs to come first. I understand putting it out for the people around you that you care for, but if you can't do that for yourself, you're not giving them the correct way of love and care. You know what I'm saying? Um, and you think you are, uh, for the longest of times, because you might see positive outcomes with them and this and that, which is awesome. But when it's all said and done, and it's just you yourself and you. Whether that's sitting in a room by yourself, whether that's a long time at night, wherever you are, and it's just you, and you start getting in your thoughts, and you start really thinking about things. Oh, 1 second. Oh, there we go. Okay, I was lagging a little bit, y'all, and then Dion froze up. But anyway, if y'all start thinking, you just get into your feelings. You start thinking about the things that's not good in that moment. That's where you need to open up and be like, am I taking care of myself? Do I really love myself? And that can be in different ways: health, mental, physical, whatever. One step at a time for each one. I would say. Don't try to at first. Don't try to change all at once. Take it step by step. Take it category by category, because then you'll get overwhelmed. You know how it gets. And people be like, "No, you man, if you can't multitask that, then what?" But to multitask, you got to be able to be all right in one category to be able to add another category while you're still doing this category. So, yeah, I say definitely big on loving yourself and just understanding how to do that. And I can't tell you necessarily how to do that. I think everyone is different when it comes to that, and just learning yourself more. But yeah, learn about yourself more.
And I about to say, and everyone has like Rose said, bro. Everyone has their own way of doing it. Like he said, I'm just coming from an aspect of saying, bro, like with anybody who's a people pleaser, including myself, because a lot of y'all know me personally. Like I'm always willing to give out and give in to those, and not say anything bad about anybody, but sometimes in return it's not the same way. And so it makes you realize again, like we might be in the room, we might be thinking, like, hey, like, I'm trying to fix a friendship. I'm trying to fix this. I'm trying to be somewhere. And like you giving your time to someone and surrendering your time to somebody that doesn't probably care about you no more, that doesn't probably think about you. But another thing is this. I got told this week by somebody that, oh, Jeremiah, if you haven't seen the podcast, man, he said something that was so true. And this is the facts. Like, even if you don't know if someone is actually caring about you or loving you, there's someone that's always that's always loving you. Whether they don't check on you, whether they don't, ask you to do things with them, or whether they don't try to, reach out to you, just know they might still like think about you. They might still love you. But again, while you're in that process of just being in a room thinking, and you're thinking that like someone doesn't care about you, you don't do this, you don't do that, and you give your time out to all these people, bro. This is why I said the point is, to love is to show love to yourself, because if you don't, I mean, hell, it's gonna be rough for you to, internally let go. And I want y'all to know, like, sincerely love yourself. Like, I'm not saying this to because of what I'm going through, but you really got to love yourself. As I go on, though, the next thing is to set boundaries, is to show strength within your own heart, to tell someone no. If you don't tell people no, people gonna walk all over you. At the end of the day, bro, if you don't set boundaries, if you don't set a standard within your own heart and your own self to say, hey, I'm not allowing myself to do this because of what someone else wants to do, or because that this thing might affect me heavily, bro, like set a boundary. At the end of the day, bro, boundaries are something that will mess up a lot of friendships. But at the end of the day, they didn't respect your code. So of course that boundary is going to mess up the friendship. And don't be afraid of losing those friendships over those boundaries. At the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? Like you gotta figure out what boundaries are and what your boundaries is. Like for me, I know personally, I don't let nothing get to me. In the sense of if you're doing something stupid, I'm gonna let you know. If you do something crazy, I'm gonna let you know, right? But that's because I'm blunt. But everyone's different. Like I said, as we go on throughout this episode, like we know that everyone goes through it differently, right? But you have to set boundaries. At the end of the day, if you don't set boundaries, again, people gonna walk past you. People gonna do whatever they can. If you keep reaching out to people and you keep doing this and doing that and they ain't responding to you and they walk up to you and be like, hey, this and that, they got you. Sorry about that. To set boundaries is basically a shield within your own self to let people know that you cannot walk over me. You can't allow yourself to just walk in and just think you can do whatever you want to and then just dip. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to know what you want within yourself, what's your boundaries. Because at the end of the day, shoot, there's people that have boundaries on everybody. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't know how to do if you don't know what your boundaries are, it's all right. But at the end of the day, at least when it comes up to people like doing stuff to you, you got to say no, or you got to just defend yourself. You know what I'm saying? We all have our own boundaries. We all have our own set of like, don't do's, you know what I'm saying? But like, don't allow yourself to feel like since you have friends, since you have people that's like you consider close, to just do whatever to you. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the importance of having boundaries. At the end of the day, if you don't have boundaries, you just need to find a way to have boundaries. And it's everyone has their own timing when it comes up to boundaries. But what's that purpose within yourself? If you don't allow people to to be close to you, it's all right. But at the end of the day, for your mental, for your internal thoughts, for whatever, don't allow people to mess up your boundaries. And you know what I'm saying? Like I said, to have boundaries is to have a purpose within yourself to say no to the things that messes up that will mess you up. So again, just have boundaries within your own heart and know that it's okay to say no. I know people want to be people pleasing and stuff, but it's okay to say no. Even if it's like something small, just say something. Sometimes saying no helps out. Sometimes no saves a person from going to jail. Sometimes saying no saves somebody from actually getting themselves in trouble. You know what I'm saying? So say no, set the boundary. If you're going to have boundaries and it's like, if it's like something like, hey, let's go out to eat, and you be like, man, I got schoolwork I have to do. Like, that's cool too. Have them little boundaries. But yeah, that's what I got to say about that. Bro, you got something to say?
Yeah. Relay to me. Point two again. So I can.
I said basically to set boundaries is to set yourself or to let yourself know that you can tell someone no, basically.
Yeah. Man, we both had our fair share of this, man. But yeah, setting boundaries is important. Friendship, relationship, most importantly, in your own life when it comes to certain things. Because boundaries show respect for yourself. It shows respect for you. Um, if you don't like this and somebody keeps doing this, you just gotta set that boundary. Let them know, like, hey, what I'm saying, I appreciate you. Blah blah blah, but this right here, hey, we gotta put a line on that one. Um, But even with boundaries, saying no in general, or shoot, yeah, saying no in general, I think we as people that care hard for others, especially when you come into like a closest thing as like a friend or anything like that, it gets tough because you don't want to upset nobody. Like I can tell you, I haven't gotten in no crazy real argument. I have probably like well, no, earlier this year, and things went his way, but it was for the better. You know what I'm saying? Like it's okay. Some things won't be the same. I'm not going to act like it will, but sometimes it'll be for the better though. When you do set those boundaries, when you do say no, when you figure out something that can work out for yourself and for the whoever else you're dealing with at that time. But even I have not respected some boundaries that people set with me, and I can see how it affects it. You know what I'm saying? But once I notice, I fully correct myself, and you know what I'm saying. Sometimes you find yourself hard, like, dang man, it's like the norm, like it's always been the norm. But sometimes people, the brain is always developing. You know what I'm saying? So me and Dion not gonna be the same person in 10 years from now. We're gonna be wiser. We're gonna think different. We're gonna move different. And that's not saying in a bad way. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully it's for the greater good. You know what I'm saying? Some people change completely and go down the wrong slope. But you just want to be honest with yourself, set boundaries, respect people's boundaries too. Please, y'all, please. Um, and have a talk about it. Like if somebody gave you a boundary and you like utterly confused, like what? Really? Why you so like you kind of like, dang, why you wait till now to say that? Just kind of listen to them because it was probably hard for them to even get this out from the get go. They probably been sitting on it for a while. So listen to them. You know what I'm saying? If it's that big of a problem where you can't comprehend, then that's just it. You know what I'm saying? And that's okay. Sometimes that's the way life goes. But yeah, man. Boundaries is big on respect, and I know everyone here loves and values your own respect. So yeah, I always think about that.
Yeah, at the end of the day, man, like again, that's why I was just thinking, like, because sometimes like you do want to like make sure that that person's okay, and maybe at the time that they aren't on the phone or they might be in person, you might overreact to the thing of if they care, if they, are we still this, are we still that. But again, the boundary, you have to listen to boundaries because like those are like pathways um to growth. You know what I'm saying? There's some things I'm dealing with right now. Like I said, there's a lot of stuff I'm dealing with right now that I might have pushed someone's boundaries. Like might be right now. I don't know. But as I'm about to transition, this is why to have communication is to be vocally active and vocally challenging those that might need help. You know what I'm saying? What I mean by that, like sometimes you have to speak up, you know? Like don't hold it in because your internal thoughts is probably going to tell you that, hey, that person might not like you, or hey, that person might not respect you, or hey, you know, you need to do this or you need to do that. And you should never allow your internal thoughts, if it's negative, you should never let your internal thoughts that's negative to affect who and what you do. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, bro, we're young. I'm just gonna be direct. I'm gonna open up a lot more with this one. A lot of us is so ready to talk about other things like becoming a rapper, a podcaster, or this or that. But when it comes up to talking about how did I hurt you? What did I do to hurt you? How can I fix it? We're so prone to being so egotistical and so selfish to the point where we have people literally trying to fight and fight and fight to save stuff without people knowing what the hell the exact problem is. You know what I'm saying? I'm dealing with that right now. And I'm not mentioning names, but you sit there and you allow yourself to wonder if something will be changed because you keep reaching out and being like, hey, can we talk? Hey, can we do this? Hey, can we do that? And that person's not reciprocating the same energy as you. You don't have to be voice. I mean, look, bro. I understand that people aren't going to always want to talk about a situation at a time, especially if they're healing or especially if they're going through something. And people are not going to tell you everything, which I respect because see, that's a part of, a boundary. But at the end of the day, like I said, bro, especially if it's me and you, especially if it's like, we're trying to figure out a situation, and one day you're happy, one day you're just acting like you don't know me, one day you're doing this, you're doing that. Man, like, why can't we communicate? You know what I'm saying? There's something still hurting you. And at the end of the day, if you're holding it in to try to make me look bad or try to do this and try to do that, it's just only gonna make you feel worse. You know what I'm saying? We gotta start communicating. And when we communicate, we gotta start talking in respectful tone. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, I'm an evaluator of tone. Like if you gonna talk to me a certain way, I'm going to listen to your tone and depending on how your tone is, I'm going to talk to you. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to hear no smack talk. I don't want to hear no hey this, hey that. I'm a beat your A and yada. I don't want to hear that, bro. I'm too old for that. You know what I'm saying? At a certain point in time, bro, we got to start acting like adults, and we got to start reaching out and start saying and confronting things that might be bothering us. And even if you hurt somebody, even if you might hurt a feeling of somebody, even if you might do something to somebody to try to make them look lesser than, you still said, hey, I am bothered by this. I'm allowing myself to reach out to you, and I need you to know, hey, we can't be friends, or hey, we can be friends, but I need you to respect these boundaries or whatever. Because if we holding on to it, bro, you're going to only make yourself you're only going to overwork yourself when it comes up to other people. How do you think about them? So again, communication is not hard. As much as we talk about all these other things, respectfully, I say, when it comes up to trying to solve a problem, or when it comes up to trying to solve an altercation or whatever, bro, we are so ready to try to fight people. We are so ready to try to hurt people. But then we don't realize how much importance it is just to sit down and have a conversation about this. And if we both cry, if we both have a feeling of like, hey, I'm hurt, I want you to know I'm hurt. I want you to know we can't be friends and yada yada. Like, that's what is authentic. Fighting and all this tough guy act shootings and all this stuff, man, it just does not fit the mold. Like, we got to start communicating a lot more. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, I'm not trying to judge nobody. I'm respectfully not trying to make it seem like, that, not all of us communicate. Some of us do. Some of us is real quick to say, hey, I feel like you did this to me. I feel like you did that to me. But at the end of the day, don't leave someone curious. Don't leave someone without clarity if it's a situation that's still going on. So at the end of the day, bro, to communicate is to show that your voice is, I'm just going to say it differently. To communicate is to show how much your voice is powerful to other people. You know what I'm saying? Like, be able to communicate. Don't fear nothing that's going to happen to you. Because at the end of the day, a lot of people that's willing to do the communication, the talking and stuff like that, they have to be encouraged to do it. But if you're trying to fix something, right, and if you are holding on to something internally and externally, meaning the outside and inside, let it go. Let it go. Let someone know, hey, I'm not with you. I'm not doing this. Let someone know, hey, I feel like let's have a talk. Let's drink some tea and let's have a serious conversation about this. And however long you want to talk to somebody, whether it be 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, an hour, 3 hours, or 5, do it. Those are some of the best conversations I've ever had personally. When it comes up to having a conversation with somebody that has been through a lot, that I have heard, and they said, hey, let's have a conversation. Like grown people. You know what I'm saying? And so like I said, bro, just be able to communicate. Be able to communicate. Stop feeling like you have to hold it in, or stop acting like you have to fight first or whatever, because communication is essential. Your voice has meaning. And I understand in the day and age we live in now, it's rough, but your voice do have meaning, and that won't change no matter. It won't change my opinion. That it will not change at all. Your voice have meaning. So that's all I got to say about that. Bro, you got something to say?
Hmm. I like this one. I like this the subject right here, man. Your voice is powerful. Your voice has meaning. Communication. When people say communication is key, usually you hear females say it in relationships because as men we're not the best communicators. I'm not gonna lie, and females don't be the best communicators either. So you can sometimes gotta renown them to that. But communication in general, as in life, is so important. And on the aspect of what we're talking about, when dealing with somebody you care about, and as we said, back to the boundary thing, how I said, don't get mad at that person, even if they did take a while. You felt like maybe they mentioned that, yeah, I've been feeling this way for a while. People tend to get mad at that real quick, and I understand, what I'm saying, but at the same time, you got to understand them too. You know what I'm saying? Uh, because the feeling of not wanting to hurt somebody will you'll put off a lot of stuff. You'll deal with a lot of stuff. Um, just because you don't want to hurt this person's feelings, but communication can save so much time and get out so much. Um, that is actually amazing. It really is. I can't even lie to you, bro. How relieved you can feel, or how relieved the other person can feel once they communicate that. And as Dion said, encouraging them like, hey, if you ever felt some type of way, or you ever need to talk to me about a certain thing, just be completely honest with me. Talk to me, because I don't want this to boil over or stir up for months or even years. You know what I'm saying? And you didn't like this for the longest, but I never knew, or I couldn't tell. Yeah, maybe that's too bad on my perception, but I'd rather you just keep it a buck with me. But when you just kind of just living life flowing, and it just gets to a point, man, you also want to be attentive uh to the person, man. Body language. Pay attention to body language too. Um Certain body language, when you do this certain thing, you know what I'm saying? You kind of check out like, huh, they not usually reacting how they react. I mean, just ask them, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, is everything all right? If you need to talk about something, let me know. This, that. But communication can save so much. So much. I mean, communication done stop wars, y'all. So imagine what it can do for you in your life. You know what I'm saying? You and a person that you care for. So yeah, I keep it short on communication. I feel like it's pretty much out there. You said everything which was on the nail. But yeah, man, and it's something that we all continue to work on. So don't feel so pressured at the moment, but understand how to communicate right. Because a lot of people come off very. You got to know your personnel too. Let me start with that. Well, Ocho Cinco say you got to know your personnel, Unc. That's what he always say, bro. So you really do got to know your personnel on how you can deliver what you're trying to say to a person. You know what I'm saying? Especially when it's encouraging them, when you feel like they might be holding something, encouraging them to let that out. You got to know your personnel, because some people got to be blunt. Some people you got to kind of, just kind of inch your way up. Some people got to even baby, but like, communication, bro. It's in all forms.
Like I said, bro, like too, another thing, like, you know, communication, like I said, he said it right when it comes to the body language. Like, bro, people got eyes for a reason. It's if you don't like, if you really don't like want someone to talk to you, they can detect it. I'm an empath. I look at myself as an empath. If I'm walking up to you and I feel like I can't talk to you for a reason because of you giving me a look, or you kind of being hesitant when you walk up, like, it's something behind your hesitation. It's something behind that look. It's something behind, you know, everything that you do. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, like I'm telling you, I've been dealing with, like, not trying to make nothing crazy, because she might, this person could, anybody could be watching. Let's just clarify it like that. But I've dealt with something for a long time now. Literally, everything that I'm telling you is something that I'm experiencing right now. Communicate. Learn to communicate. At the end of the day, it's nothing wrong with communication. Again, it's how you express your emotions that makes the situation either worse or either something that could just be solved. Whether you be associates, whether you be friends still, or whether you don't even associate with her at all, him or her at all. So learn to communicate. So the last thing is, because I don't want to hold old boy up. He said he got to go somewhere. So the last thing I'll say is this. To be yourself is the biggest blessing in the world. I don't care what anyone says. To be yourself is to be a blessing to yourself and to others. Not because they deserve it, but because that represents your character. At the end of the day, we all want to be a good guy, a good lady, but we never want to be a person that is remembered for all the things that he's done wrong or she's done wrong. You know what I'm saying? Carry yourself with character and carry yourself with a lot of things that people want to represent. Now, what does this have to do with internal thoughts, right? This is coming from an internalizing person. I'll say this. You don't know how much internal thoughts will mess you up until someone will literally walk up to you and tell you how much you've done wrong. But at the end of the day, there's so many people that's out here really watching you, and you might not pay attention to it. And there might be someone that might walk up to you and be like, hey, you really look good today. And you don't know how much that might influence your negative internal thoughts, meaning in a good way. You don't know how much you represent that, that goodness within your own internal thoughts or your heart. You know what I'm saying? That someone told me, hey, I look good today. Or, hey, like, for an example, we get told this a lot, but, podcast. The podcast is really good. And whether, again, I always got to say this, whether they watch it or not, that little token is definitely a little achievement for me during that day, whether it's internally or the heart. Because at the end of the day, we all got 12 hours to be up. You know what I'm saying? Depending on what time you wake up. Actually, I'll say depending on what time you wake up is how long you'll probably be up until you go to sleep, right? So you got a lot of things that's going to happen throughout the week or throughout the day or throughout the month that you're going to have to overcome. And you want to have encouraging people around you. And also you want to be a blessing to those that might deserve it and that does not deserve it at all. You know what I'm saying? You have to really figure out, not saying that this is people pleasing. I will never say people please. But what I'm saying is being a blessing. It's like, hey, like if someone needs help, someone really needs help with moving something. If there's an elderly woman or elderly man that might need help getting a box or something like that, go do it. That's not people pleasing. That's just being helpful to that person that has helped you. I mean, that, and God sees all those blessings that you give others. You know what I'm saying? It'd been different if it was people pleasing, if like you kept just trying to be like, hey, this person and you like, hey, you need help with this, you need help with that, and they're telling you no, and you're like, well, I can help you out with this and this and that. You know what I'm saying? That's people pleasing, right? But be a blessing to people that you don't know, and even to the people that you do know. You know what I'm saying? And appreciate all the things, what people say. Appreciate all the positive things that they say about you. You know what I'm saying? There's people that's always going to say something negative about you. But at the end of the day, if you allow those positive thoughts to outweigh those negatives, it'll definitely be relaxing to your internal thoughts. And I'll say this another thing too, and I'll add this quickly. To rest easy is to have a very good morning. I'll say that. Just get some rest. Get some rest too. You know, don't try to allow yourself. At the end of the day, those two references. Just be happy that you are doing whatever you can to be alive. Because you are a blessing at the end of the day. And I don't care what anyone says. I don't care how you look. I don't care about your if you have disabilities or if you don't have disabilities, if you're different or if you're straight. I don't care about none of that. You are a blessing. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. And don't remember the most important thing is that God made you wake up that morning or this morning or whatever day. And there's other people that's still struggling. There's other people that's dying off the rip. Like people dying and getting I don't like talking about politics on here, but people getting hung in Mississippi, like none of us is going through that right now. Whoever's watching, none of us is going through that. You know what I'm saying? Just be happy about the fact that you are a blessing no matter what people say. You make mistakes. And if people hold on to your mistakes, they don't know how to cope within their own mistakes. So they have to hold it on to other people. So at the end of the day, bro, this is what I'll say, and I'll end it with that and probably let Ro talk a little bit and then probably say one last thing and then we're going to head out for this one. But you all have to realize within your own internal heart, within your own internal mind and whatever, that there's going to be a lot of roads where you might have good days, bad days, and you might have mixtures of both. There's going to be days where you randomly don't know what's going to happen to you. And there's random days where, sadly, things happen to you personally, meaning that if it's a car crash or if it's a death in the family, it happens. You know what I'm saying? But it's how you overcome those situations. It's how you communicate to somebody and let them know, hey, let's get this situation over with. Whether you want to be friends or not, let's get this situation over with. It's realizing that, being yourself is important. It's realizing the fact that, you have a purpose within yourself to set boundaries and tell people, hey, I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that. And it's also important because you are who you are. And at the end of the day, no one can stop you. You can stop yourself. No one can tell you, hey, you did this, you did that. You're the one that's operating the ship, meaning that you your own person. And that when someone else tells you that, you doing this, you doing that, and you like making excuses over it, bro, it just gets to a point where it becomes repetitive. So all I'm about to say is this: it's just be humble. Allow your internal thoughts not to be a negative force within your own heart, because you can't. I'm telling you, there's days that I don't even want to get up, but you have to get up, get active, get to work, and do what you need to do. Because at the end of the day, as much as you might not notice, people are looking up to you, and people do love you. Even if you feel like the world's against you, even if you feel like there's things going on, people do love you, and you have to love yourself first. Mainly love yourself first, but people do love you. So, you got anything to say, bro?
Yeah, man, I'll keep it short, but let me see. The topic was dang, I just had a brain fart. I got this, guys. I got this. Wait.
It was basically to love. I mean to
be yourself.
be yourself. Yes, be yourself. My bad. I forgot too. I was
Sorry,
talking too
I had a
much.
brain fart, y'all. But yeah, man, being yourself, man. I think we all done had a moment or a couple moments in life where we get caught up, whether that's in friend groups in a certain area you are, whatever, where you don't feel like you're yourself. You feel like you're molding to how whatever's going on around you. You know what I'm saying? But it's important. It's very important, y'all, to genuinely just be you, man. Just be you. You don't understand. Being you is such a blessing to yourself and others. You might not even understand it in the moment. You won't. You actually won't. You won't even notice it. But you just being yourself in the moment can Man, I'm telling you. I'm saying a lot of nothing right now, but it is so much more to it. It's hard to put in words, honestly. But um, out of been in situations like that, man, when I feel like, whoa, I'm not acting like myself right now. Let me tone it down. Some people not gonna like you. They not gonna like the way you are. This, that, and that is completely fine. That is completely fine. Don't let that alter how you move about on your regular way. You know what I'm saying? And what was the last thing you said, D? You said
I said to get some rest.
ah, oh my gosh. Listen, I think people get rest mixed up, man. It's like, man, I'm tired. And they think they just rest in their bodies. But guess what? You rest in your mind too. And your mind needs rest. It needs a reset. Because if your brain was going 24/7, no stop, no break, even though it is technically with the breathing and all that stuff. But I'm talking about you when you're actually awake doing stuff. If it was moving like that 24/7, boy, it's out the mud. That's all I gotta say. And it's super important to get your rest when you can, bro. You know what I'm saying? I know everyone got a different life. You might work 2 jobs, might work 3, but please get in your rest when you can. Whether that's 30 minutes to an hour to 8 hours to 12 hours. And yeah, man. D, I appreciate this conversation with you, man. This really hit, man. This really
Yeah.
hit. I can't lie. Stuff I ain't
Like
talked
I
about
said,
in a long time. It's real.
yeah, but this is what I'm saying. Like a lot of stuff is what I'm dealing with personally right now. I'm not trying to tell my personal business. Not ever gonna do that. You know, I'm way too old for a lot of that stuff. I'm not trying to get killed. Again, I'm gonna keep telling y'all, social media is a fake engine for how a lot of people might be acting in front of and setting in front. But at the end of the day, bro, a lot of us might be stressing on the inside. You know what I'm saying? We have to realize again, this is the last thing I'll say, having these conversations and having these thoughts and things, you know, it's definitely essential. We want y'all to know that we care. We might not know all y'all personally, but at the end of the day, we want y'all to know that we care. And mental health is important. The only reason why I'm talking about internal is because this is something that I've been struggling with over the last week. We're trying to realize if friends really care about me, if this situation I'm dealing with is going to end, or if it's going to continue because of arrogance or whatever, or if getting the help with talking to people about those things, are they really are eye opening to the fact that we all might need this change. And I have to clarify as we, because of course this is something I was doing, but yeah, at the end of the day, bro, we gotta have these conversations. We gotta stop feeling like, you know, that we are all not I'm all happy every day, you know. Otherwise, you know, if you are, I honestly am grateful that you happy every day. But we all know that happiness is not one emotion. There's other emotions too that comes with being a human. And my eyes hurt me, so I'm irritated. Let me stop. But you know what I'm saying? Just be satisfied to the fact that you have internal emotions, but always realize that you are, you know, you're bigger than what your negative emotional internal thoughts tell you. You know, get out that room. That's another thing. Get out the room and actually go for a walk and do something within your own self, because at the end of the day, that room is a curse. Room is definitely a curse. Even like when I have my lady on the pod, you know, or a lady on there, sometimes my internal thoughts, I'd be like, hey, I need to get off the phone, go for a walk. That's what I do, because it's just the process of being like, okay, if I have to go out and yell, I mean, I wouldn't recommend it, but yeah, bro, I hope that y'all enjoyed this, man. You know what I'm saying? I hope that y'all enjoyed this one. It's one of those ones where I had to talk about it. You know, it's behind the scenes, but at the end of the day, bro, this is real life. You know, this is real life. We all struggling through it at times, but you know, just remember, be humble, move forward, have communication, get rest, and don't feel like you are alone in this situation. So this is behind the scenes by Locked In podcast, you know what I'm saying? I hope that y'all enjoyed this, man. Again, we're gonna have more videos like this. I was thinking about doing an episode by myself and just talking about this, but I knew I had to have Roland on, you know, if he wasn't working. But because, you know, I feel like if I said it, I would have probably had to do the video like 4 or 5 different times because of how blunt I would have been about situations. And I know with a person beside me, I would have self-control and not say what I really feel about certain people directly. So with that being said, we hope that y'all enjoy this. Again, this is episode 2 of Locked In Behind the Scenes. On my eyes irritating like crazy. We hope that y'all enjoy this. Appreciate y'all. I hope that y'all enjoy. I love y'all. I can't even hear it. Okay, I can hear it now. I'll see y'all in the next one.
Deuces. Yeah, yeah.